and a special guest, Cedrick Guindon of the Owen Sound Attack. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
We're really excited to have you here. It's been something I've been working on for a little while. I want to thank the Owen Sound Attack for teeing this up. Um, and we know that you got a busy day today. You got practice coming up soon, so we want to just we'll kick it off and we'll try and keep it as short as we can. So, the first question is basically comme un franco-ontarien, je comprends comment difficile que c'était en Ottawa. Moitié des amateurs sont des partisans des Canadiens, l'autre moitié, c'est des sénateurs. Ta famille est-elle devenue des amateurs des Canadiens maintenant?
Oui, ça a commencé quand j'étais jeune. Venir d'Ottawa, plus précisément Rockland. La plupart, c'est des fans des Sens, juste vu que c'est plus proche. Mais un coup que mon rêve s'est réalisé de se faire repêcher dans la Ligue nationale, n'importe quelle équipe, mes parents étaient pour prendre pour. Donc, même jamais les Sens ont eu une petite rivalité avec Montréal dans les playoffs, pas longtemps passé. C'était pas dur pour eux de changer d'équipe juste à cause que c'est un rêve que depuis que je suis jeune que je travaille là-dessus.
Comment cool que c'est que de savoir que tu as la chance de jouer dans un environnement qui te donne l'opportunité de jouer dans un environnement qui met de valeur sur ta langue et ta culture.
Ah, mais c'est énorme pour nous autres, comme famille, puis comme personne, comme joueur. La culture, c'est juste l'organisation complète, comment longtemps ils sont impliqués dans le hockey. Une des premières équipes à avoir être dans les nationales. Le fait que c'est français, ils prennent ça tellement à cœur. Puis tout, moi, un jeune francophone, euh, pouvoir faire partie de ça, c'est un rêve. C'est la meilleure situation possible pour un gars comme moi. Puis, je suis là pour prendre avantage, puis de faire partie de ça, c'est sûr.
Switching to English, now you mentioned in French that the draft was a big dream come true, but that's just the start. What can you explain what the feeling was to be picked by the Canadiens and what you're looking forward to from there?
Yeah, I mean, obviously the draft when it happened so fast, and also after that, I didn't even have the time to kind of to let it sink in that I got drafted because Dev Camp was right around the corner. So as soon as I got drafted, that kind of went behind me, and the focus was to get better, to now try to show the staff and the whole organization what I have to bring. So it kind of took a 180-degree turn right away just to go straight to training to def camp. Next thing you know, I was in training camp, and so I kind of didn't have the chance to let it sink in. And right away, we were kind of focused on getting better and just what the plans were for the season and for the summer. So, but it was a really great summer. It went by fast, and learned a lot for sure.
And how was that whole experience with development camp and training camp and everything from your standpoint as a newly drafted player into the organization?
Yeah, just getting a taste of what the NHL is like, how to do things at the next level. It's crazy. I mean, going from 1 year of major junior to training camp and dev camp, just working with the coaches there, with everyone, even the players. Right, there's so many good players there. You see a bit of everything. You see how professional it is. So for a guy like me, I just try to take all that information I was getting there and all the skills I could learn from there and just bring it back to Owen Sound for this season. So it was a really great experience, and I'm just looking forward to next summer for sure too.
Now, you clearly had access to everyone in the organization. You spoke to people. You were obviously taking in as much as you can. Were you given any tips and pointers by established NHLers such as former Owen Sound captain Nick Suzuki?
Um, he kind of texted me when I got drafted just to reach out, and after that he was injured during training camp, so he wasn't really around, right? But there was other guys, especially the AHL guys, who were really really nice to guys like me who just saw guys like me at my age being first year camp. They were in those shoes once before, right? So they kind of did a good job to guide me. And it's not like they go up to me and they tell me exactly what to do to have success. They just guide me because everything is so new, right? So there was a couple of the other guys, and there's a couple of ex Owen Sound players, including Centeraim, who was captain not too long ago. So he was one of those guys who I glued with right away. So it was great. Yeah.
Now, while at development camp, was there any one detail that you focused on that helped that you took to your team this season?
Yeah, I think just routine wise, just preparation, diet, all those things that is became natural to me, I would say, this year, that maybe jumping from midget to major junior didn't come as good as going from a major junior to NHL camp, right? So after being around all those guys, seeing what they do, going back to my club, it was really easy to take all that aspect from the game, just preparation, detail, focus, and just bring it back to my club for sure.
You know, a lot has been made through the press and on social media about the new approach that Canadians take to development and how they apply it. What have you seen from the development team this season that you've really appreciated?
Well, first off, they're such a young team, Montreal, right? That they kind of put everyone in the same boat. That's kind of the vibe I got, and they just focused on getting the best out of everyone. At training camp, Marty St. Louis was big on playing games that really reflected to game situations, right? Just working on areas that you're often in those positions during games. So whether it was 3-on-3 down low drills or on men rushes, all that stuff, really focused on the things that will get you prepared for the next level, just the speed, the passes, the execution, all that stuff. And obviously scoring, right? That's something that everyone wants to do, but there's also so many other things that you can do around that to help you score a goal. So I think they kind of took that approach with us.
The development coaches clearly are watching you guys through the season. Have have they come to visit you? Have they gone over some video, given pointers, and how do they interact with your current club? How does that work together?
Yeah, I mean, I have Frankie Bouillon and Rob Ramage who take care of, I think, most of the Ontario guys, well, the OHL guys at least. And so every time I usually play against either Kitchener, Peterborough, Ottawa, any other team that has a other Habs prospect on, they'll come and watch us play, and we'll talk after the game and go over the game and how the season's going, and they'll reach out either by phone call or by text too. So it's really nice to have that type of support and feedback from those guys, as they're obviously really knowledgeable about the game. So they give us pointers, support us too. So it's really nice to have them around.
So with your team now clinching a playoff spot, you guys made playoffs last year. You were a young team. You had a very good season in your opening year. What is the focus now? What is the focus now for your club and even for you?
Yeah, I mean, right now it's when we were at the 10 game mark left in the year, we knew those were like probably the 10 biggest games of the season, and after that they only get more important as well, right? So we kind of just treated those games as playoffs games and just to see where we're at right now as a team. And we kind of slumped a bit, but we're also going back on track now with while we're dealing with injury problems, all that stuff. So we kind of know what we can be when we're at full potential, full health and everything. So I think our main focus is to kind of put that behind us and just look what's ahead of us and do the best we can do out of what we're at right now. And that's just for us going past the first round too, right? Just doing any improvement from last year is success for us. So I think getting past the first round and see where we're at after that would be great for us. As I know, we'll have a really good team next year too, right? So it's just kind of where we're at right now.
Right.
So the game last night that you guys pulled out the 4-3 victory on over the Flint Firebirds, that's a possible playoff matchup. And you guys approached it like a playoff game, and it looked like a playoff game, the way both teams just attacked each other. It seemed very physical. Is that what you're expecting from them if you meet up with them?
100%, right? They're a good team. They're fast. I mean, we played 7 games in playoffs against them last year, and it turned out to be a 1 goal a series, right? So we know what they're made of, and they know what we're made of. So we always battle head to head like that, and it's fun, honestly. That's what we expect also from any other team, right? We don't just battle with them, whether it's London or Sarnia, any other team. We kind of know that it's going to be fast, physical hockey, and we're, like I said, we're getting ready for that, and it excites us as well.
Matt?
So shifting to one of your teammates, we talked a little bit about development in the Canadian system. I want to know your standpoint on one of your teammates, Colby Barlow, who is going to be, likely a guy that's going to be drafted top 10 in the draft this year. He's had a very good season. If we wanted to get to know him a little bit, could you give us a little bit of details about him and what you see in his game?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, he's our captain for a reason, right? I think that's the biggest thing that stands out is his maturity and all his leadership abilities at such a young age. And that's just to start with. And after that, I mean, the player he is, right? He's just pure goal scorer that brings a lot to the table as well. Some people don't realize what else he brings to the table. I mean, last game he blocked a shot to help us win the game. And I mean, it doesn't get unnoticed for us, and I'm sure for scouts as well. But it's easy to kind of look at him as a pure goal scorer, but he brings so much other things to the table. I mean, so happy for how his season's turning out too. I mean, he's getting close to 50 goals. Hopefully, he gets that, and I'm sure I'm sure whoever drafts him will be really happy with the player in person he is.
Let's just say that was the Canadiens. Would you
Yeah,
maybe cheer a little bit harder if that was the case?
I would be one happy teammate for sure.
Perfect. And one more question regarding him. That beard, how much time does he put into, looking after that each game?
I mean, he'll shave one night and he'll be back the next morning. So at this point, he just wings it, I think.
Yeah. I'm 35 years old and he's got a better beard than I do. So,
Yeah.
I'll, shout out to him
Wouldn't
and whatever
know.
he's doing.
Do you guys just call him the werewolf, or?
I mean, just a man child, right? Like, he kind of came in that training camp last year he didn't have the same beard, but it was already like almost like that. So no, he's just a beauty overall. I mean, he's got the long hair now, he's got the big beard, so kind of just he doesn't look 17 or 18, let's say, right?
No, he definitely doesn't.
Yeah.
But back to you. You scored the game winner last night against Flint in the 4-3 win. Did you even know that was your 50th OHL goal, or did that not even enter your mind?
I mean, I kind of knew because I hadn't scored in a while, right? Like, I was kind of slumping, and it's one of my teammates. I think it was Cedrick Guindon who scored his 50th goal not too long ago, and I think he's the one that reminded me about it, and it kind of just went through my head, and then kind of forgot about it until after the game. I saw a couple posts about it, so it's for sure something that cool accomplishment for sure. But I mean, after I think I went like something like 8-10 games without scoring, so it kind of just felt nice to get that that goal back, and just the fact that it was my 50th goal just was kind of the cherry on top after the game. So it's pretty cool.
Now, your shot was pretty dangerous to start with, and I know you talked about going through a little bit of a slump. But have you seen this season your shot being used more as an option to open up opportunities to pass, or do you see your main offensive role as a center to just be a playmaker?
Yeah, well, I mean, just my assist total this year compared to last year kind of just shows how I'm able to display my playmaking abilities way more this year, right? And I think part of it is a lot of people saw me as a shooter, and I don't even think that I saw myself as a shooter last year too. Um, in minor hockey and everything, I always saw myself as a playmaker, and obviously scoring 30 goals in my first year kind of projected me as a shooter type of guy. But always knew deep down that I was a pass first type of guy. And this year I think I'm just more comfortable in rushes and to kind of use my deceptiveness to make passes instead of shooting it sometimes. So yeah, I think it's a good tool to have, and but sometimes I think I got to use my shot a bit more to score a bit more too. So kind of goes both ways.
But the biggest thing that I've noticed in your game between the last season and this season has been the step you've taken in your defensive game. What part did you focus on to improve there?
Yeah, well, I mean, I just know that to make it to the next level, that any team is gonna look at that first, probably, right? Just how are you gonna be able to play defensively at the next level? So after getting drafted, I kind of took it even more seriously, knowing that the Habs would expect that to as for me to improve that part of the game, right? So I kind of just talked to the coaches, and they agreed that it's an area that, even though it wasn't horrible last year, I just think there was so much more room for improvement, and there still is. So I talked to the coaches about it, and I think this year there's way more maturity in that aspect of the game, or of my game at least, and it's helped me a lot also offensively, I think. So it's been good. I mean, I'm really happy with the improvement, and I still think there's more.
Matt?
Um, since being drafted by the Canadiens, or even at the draft in general, was there anyone that you got to meet or have met during this process that not only as a player but as a hockey fan that you were like, I can't believe I just met this person. I can't believe I'm talking to this person.
Just I think Marty St. Louis was like the biggest one. I mean, he's like I watched him play all my life growing up, right? So and just seeing him on the ice, just talking to him. I mean, he's so smart. So it's crazy talking to this guy. I mean, he's so smart. I was kind of starstruck when I first talked to him, for sure. I think he's the first guy, and then after that, just talking to the all the other staff, I was just really kind of I wouldn't say starstruck, but like I said earlier, they're all so smart, also knowledgeable about hockey, that it was crazy for me to just be around all these people. So everyone in the organization has something different to bring, and I think Marty just had a lot of stuff that I've never heard before that he would tell me. So it's really cool to talk to him.
Speaking of head coaches, what approach has your head coach, Greg Walters, taken with you and the team this season that has helped you guys take that next step?
Just competing to the max, I think, especially a guy like me, just taking that hesitation out of my game, just making us a really confident group too, right? So he's been great with us all year. I mean, we've had our ups and downs as a team, but you know that happens to every team. So I mean, he's just tuned all of our weaknesses. He tried to tune it for everyone, and he's such a player's coach too, right? His door's always open. He's always willing to help us anytime. And same goes to our assistant coach, Jordan Hill and Sean Teagle, right? They're both always active, always doors always open to ask questions, and they've been great with us for sure.
Now, what have you done yourself personally to prepare yourself for this playoff run? You mentioned that you guys, for the last 10 games of the season, are approaching it as the playoffs. what are you doing to make sure that you're at your peak performance once that kicks in?
It's just it's preparation. Like I said earlier, I mean, that's really a different type of game. So it's to go in every game as if it's your last, right? We're also playing for, we're really close with our overagers this year, and we know that it's their last year. So there's so much more. There's so much to play for when you go into playoffs like that. That I think it's just it's no question that you have to give everything you got out there, right? Everyone's playing to go to the finals, right? And everyone's playing for the guy beside you in the room. So I think it's just it's natural for guys like me to just go out there and compete as hard as you can, because there's so much to play for. And I mean, time flies, right? So you never know what's going to happen and everything. So we're just taking advantage of it, any opportunity we have coming up.
So from myself, I'm done with my questions. I know you got to get to practice. I know you've got a busy day already, and a busy day coming up. Personally, I just want to thank you for taking the time to give us some of your time, and wish you the best of luck for the rest of the season.
Yeah, I appreciate it a lot. No worries.
And before I let you go, I just want to know, how much charity work do you guys do for the boys out in Meaford?
I mean, we do our part. We mostly do we'll do a lot of school visits. We actually, the other day, we went to a hospice and played with some Shar-Pei puppies. I think that's what they're called. So we do a lot of stuff like that. It's really fun, and sometimes we'll come across the Meaford guys. So it's a good thing to have for sure.
All right. Well, I want to thank you very much for coming on the show. I appreciate the time you've given us. And on behalf of myself, Matt, and our co-host Treg, who couldn't be here, we want to wish you the best of luck in the OHL playoffs, unless you play Sudbury. And and we hope to see you next summer in Montreal.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thanks a lot.